Okie dokie. Day 12 continued, I guess. I'm holed up in my little outbuilding in this abandoned farmhouse. I've stretched my tarp over the door to stop the rain coming in because the wind and the rain are blowing. There's a little pizza oven in this building. It's got like a strange hole in the ceiling. I don't know, it's an unusual building, but as you can see, it's got an asbestos roof, which isn't great, but it's in good condition, doesn't seem to be falling to bits and crumbling. I don't know. I've inhaled so many particulates over my life. I don't think a few asbestos fibres are going to make much difference at this point. I used to build model airplanes and was cutting carbon fibre every day, and I'd have black snot coming out my nose where I've been breathing. I would wear a mask, but I'd be breathing carbon particles all day, so I don't know if they're any better or worse than asbestos. Who knows, man. It's keeping me out the rain and the wind for the time being. I've got you can see over there, I've got like a little shelf that I've got my stove and stuff set up on, and there's a bench here that I'm sitting on. It's got a bit of woodworm, but hey, they're not going to eat me. I haven't got wood at the minute. Sorry, poor jokes. What was I going to say? Yeah, I shouldn't be laughing really. I've had a bit of a setback. So obviously as the wind and the rain's poured down, the ground's gotten more and more sodden. And I was sat in here watching YouTube and, making coffee. I nipped out to go for a pee and discovered that one of my tent stakes had poured out and my tent had completely collapsed and it was flapping around in the wind and the inner tent's all filled up with water and my bed was still in there and that's soaking wet through. Fortunately, the silver lining, if such a thing exists in such circumstances, when I got up this morning, I'd had the presence of mind to bring my sleeping bag with me and stow it in my dry bag, just there. So at least my sleeping bag's dry. So, I mean, if my tent's still sodden, which it will be by tonight, I can just hunker down in here if I have to. I mean, it's going to be a rough night, but once the weather breaks and it brightens up again in a day or so, I can obviously air everything out and dry it. But obviously I'm new to this whole YouTube game, and with hindsight, I should have, when it collapsed, taken some footage to show you, but, I just forgot. My instant reaction was, oh, crikey, go and repitch the tent, so... I've shoved the rest of the stakes into the ground more thoroughly, and the one that pulled out, I've rested a big brick thing on top of it to stop it pulling out again. So the tent seems to be holding up now, but obviously, the damage is done. It's all soaked. My camp cot and the under blanket and my sleeping bag liner and all this kind of stuff are just absolutely sodden. There wasn't much else left in there, but, I'm not lying on a wet bed. That's going to be awful, and that will then soak my sleeping bag through, so... Looks like I'll be spending the night in here. It's not actually big enough for me to lay down in. I mean, maybe corner to corner, but the floor's all shitty, if you'll pardon my language. So I'll probably just spend the night sat up with the sleeping bag wrapped around me. I might put all my clothes on and so on and just sit here and be like a sad Billy No Mates. But, it's the trials and tribulations of unplanned travel, and... if I'd have brought my bigger tent, it would have been better. I could have hunkered down in there and I'd have more space and it probably wouldn't have collapsed, but because it was freestanding as well, so that would have been better. But, I made the choices I made. I have to stand by them. It's, the YouTube app's being weird with me. I was trying to update my last video. I took a short video in the night, and when I've uploaded the previous videos, they've just uploaded, and I've had the choice whether I wanted to make it a short or an actual video, regardless of the length of the video. But when I'm uploading now, if it's under 2 minutes long and in sort of portrait format, it's just defaulting to a short and doesn't seem to give me the option to, upload it as a normal video with a title and a description and so on. So I apologise for the sort of, inconsistency in the type of, the video formats. It's I've spent the last hour faffing around with YouTube settings trying to get it to accept the video as just a video, and it just won't let me. I've tried YouTube Studio. Previously, when I've been uploading the videos, I've just opened the YouTube app and hit the little plus button, and it's let me upload it, but just doesn't want to play ball. Maybe it's been an update to YouTube overnight or something. I have no idea about. In other news, I've just broken the 100 subscriber point, which is, I've hit triple figures, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if you still just need 500 subscribers or if it's back up to 1,000 for monetization and that kind of thing. I'm going to continue uploading the videos because I'm enjoying them and it's vaguely interesting, I suppose. my mission is, what I want to do is cycle around the world. I want to be able to give up my, my physical job at the location where I work and have, some diverse location independent income streams that can support my sort of frugal pedaling around the world. Obviously cycle touring isn't an expensive means of travel. A wild camp doesn't cost a lot to keep that kind of thing on the road, but so that is the sort of goal for my YouTube channel eventually. I want it still to be valuable and interesting content. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to sell to them or exploit in any way. I want it to be of value, but I don't know. I'm still 400 subscribers away, so maybe I'm getting, I'm definitely getting ahead of myself here, but I'll just keep going. I plan to update a video every single day, and we'll see. I'll let you know how I get on. I can't see me firing up the pizza oven. It would have been nice little stone-baked pizza, but I imagine it's had rats and all sorts in there. I mean, it's a bit of a manky shelter. I don't know how long the place has been abandoned for, but hey. Well, it's been a longer video, more ramblings of a middle-aged man, but yeah, I'll if anything interesting happens, I'll keep you posted. But today's just a hunker down day, basically. It's just tipping it down with rain and strong winds. There's wind warnings, but it's still, pretty warm. It's at least 14-15 degrees, which is 14 or 15 degrees warmer than the UK would have been right now, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, it's a bit annoying and frustrating that the tent got soaked through. I think if my sleeping bag had got soaked, that would have been catastrophic, but I've been doing this for long enough to know, I could see how, flimsy my tent was, and I'm like, I waited for a break in the rain, got up this morning and scampered over here with my sleeping bag and just stowed it in the dry bag straight away. And I'm so glad I did, because like tonight would have been for real, It's only dropping down to sort of 4 degrees at night, maybe 4 to 6 degrees at night, depending on whether it's cloudy or not, but that's cold enough to feel the chill if you've just sat, So, anyhow. Not hypothermic yet. I've got plenty of food, plenty of fuel for my stove, plenty of water. I can just hole up here for the day and no panic at all. And civilization's open again tomorrow. I could even take, any of my wet kit to a laundrette and get it dried in a tumble dryer. There are options available to me, but being in such a little rural town on a Sunday, the place is predominantly closed, I think. I have no intentions of wandering into town anyway, just because I don't want to get saturated. It's a walk through quite long grass, and have a feel of my trainers. Yeah, my trainers are still damp from yesterday. I've got my Crocs on at the minute. I've got some clean, dry clothes to put on if I need to. Well, not clean, but dry clothes. Yeah, I'm not in a bad place, but I'd have been happier if my tent hadn't got soaked, but what you're going to do, you take the rough with the smooth and you adapt and modify, and this is what humans do, we adapt. That's why we've filtered to the top of the food chain, presumably, well, mostly, depends where you are. In the sea we're not the top of the food chain, and out in the wilderness in certain countries we're also not the top of the food chain, but our adaptability and our opposable thumbs have taken us quite a long way. But enough random musings and ramblings from me. I don't want to bore you to death, and this is going to take a lot of data to upload this video, because I've been going nearly 10 minutes now. So I'll probably speak to you tomorrow, because I can't see much else happening today. But if anything does happen, I'll upload it. Have a good one. Speak to you later.